Our first international CHGO Bears show, and that is at least live.
Yeah, let's hear it, everybody. Yeah. Everybody, Gallery 5, stand up and cheer for these three gentlemen, along with Steven producing the show, and for everybody who's having such a great time on Twitter today with all the amazing content we've put out. Good to see you, Hoge.
Yeah. My name's Adam Hoge. That's Mark Carman.
Hi.
This is Nicholas Moreano. We just got off a train from where? Where? We got it. From where? England. That's where we were, buddy.
Oh,
it was a nice little town.
It was. Loved it.
Yeah.
Pam was awesome.
Pam
at the train station.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever go to the Ware train station in England, go see Pam.
She likes your accent.
What's the type of potato she was talking about? The jagged potatoes. No, jacket. Jacket
potatoes. Hoge.
Jacket potatoes.
Know your London. Hoge.
Yeah. Carm got a nice nap in while Nick and I had a show meeting on the train, and we're ready to go.
That is a lie. I might have been asleep for 2 minutes, and then I wasn't. And believe me, I was involved in many conversations on that train. For all the people out there that who are believing you verbatim, Hoge.
Well, there's video of it, so I mean,
it's
true. Not like you have to take my word for it. Anyway, we have had, I don't even know how long we've been here at this point. We've been here for 36 hours-ish.
Sounds about
since
right.
we landed.
Between 1 day and 3 weeks. I'm not really
sure. It's somewhere in there, somewhere in that range. The jet lag is real, but so is the love for London. We're having a great time, and we did just get back from where the Bears are out in the countryside. Beautiful place. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful place. And a lot happened today because we heard from Ryan Poles, Kevin Warren, Matt Eberflus, Caleb Williams, DJ Moore, Keenan Allen,
Roma Dunze, Cole Kmet, and DeAndre Swift.
DeAndre Swift. Because we're not going to talk about DeAndre Swift all that much. I'm just going to get this.
So you're going to lead the show with it?
Yeah, I'm just going to. I was like, hey, DeAndre, you wanted to score after you got it down to the goal line. He's like, yeah, so would you. I'm like, you're absolutely right. On my level, I wanted to score there too. I love DeAndre Swift. That's right.
And I appreciate that. Yeah. Because I like it.
Because
Yeah, because That's exactly right. All right.
Where are we going to start, Adam?
Well, first of all, everywhere I go in London, I need to select my cookie preferences.
Chocolate
chip is always the answer. I don't know why. I
wish they give you here at that hotel, right?
When keep doing
get
that.
In here.
Mind the gap, manage the cookies.
Yeah.
Mind the gap.
Now we need to reload the notion. Okay, great. That would have been.
You know what we're starting with? We're starting with the great Caleb Williams because he was outstanding today meeting the media.
Yeah, and I thought it was. We got some raw, real player-to-player back and forth. So DJ Moore's press conference was before Caleb's.
Mm-hmm.
DJ's getting asked about, Caleb kind of taking that leadership to the next level. Some of the interactions between them, and he, not in a negative way at all, was like Caleb's been more bossy lately.
Mm-hmm.
It was the most friendly, bossy comment of all time. They were having a great time today.
And for the record, he was leaning into it because Caleb was in the room.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like he was sitting there or walking in and standing next to Aaron Clark from the Bears and was basically listening in on this and that could be sort of an awkward situation, doing like a press conference, being asked to
talking about it,
having to answer a question about a teammate who's standing right next to you. And it was a cool interaction. And he calls him, little bro. And I thought he was being relatively honest about big bro had to listen to little bro. And, I listened.
I thought that everything we saw today was really, really positive for the Bears. First of all, we were kind of in this, lunch table area, and they're all walking in, and these guys are joking around with each other. You could see the chemistry going on. We've got a video that we'll play in a little bit of where Caleb pops in on Keenan Allen when I'm talking to him, and you could just feel like these guys are together. And then DJ gets up there at the podium and starts talking about how he's bossy, and he knows that Caleb can hear him, and then Caleb gets back up. There's like, I don't know, bossy. That seems a little sassy.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was the realness to it of like, hey, I've learned who DJ is. He's not this rah-rah guy. So, I've got to go talk to him on his level. There's the rookie is showing leadership and he's understanding his guys. I think this is really positive for the Bears.
Well, then when you think about it, like where for Caleb, he just wanted to listen, but now he's being more vocal and learning how to be vocal with certain types of players because they react to leadership in different ways. So whether he has to be more of that rah-rah guy or he has to do, like he says, maybe even a little bit more monotone for some guys. You have to learn what works for his teammates. And we're starting to see Caleb become more vocal as he's kind of grown into this role as the quarterback here.
I mean, calling him little brother is awesome. Little bro. That's cool, man. That's the stuff you want to hear.
And DJ was having fun today. I mean, at one point the press conference was about to be over and he was like, whoa, like, take your time. Like we're answering some questions here. So I thought it was a cool interaction. And then Carm went over to Keenan Allen and had this exchange with the other very important veteran wide receiver on the team.
I should have said, what your quarterback's right over there. How would you say your chemistry's coming along with this guy?
With him? One's
going everybody.
It's going good. Getting better week in and week out. Like I said, we're starting to find our identity and seeing what we can do.
How have you kept your mind right going through? Like, oh man, I'm dealing with being dinged up again here. I want to be on the field. I want to make this impact, but I got to be patient.
You got to stay locked in, trust the process, and just be ready whenever.
Yeah. I think from my standpoint, I'm like, how do you keep everybody happier? You want the ball. DJ wants the ball. Cole wants everything. All you guys do. Like, what's your mind
win the
frame?
game? Win the game, everybody will be happy.
Really? I feel like if you're like, doesn't everybody have to have touches and win the game? Like, don't you need kind of sort of need both?
When you're selfish, but I'm on year 12, so we want to win. I want to win.
But it's also a contract year for you too. Like, you don't think about that?
You win the game, it'll happen.
So like rising tide, everybody wins. That's the mindset.
Absolutely.
What's the next level for this offense right now? The way just the next step, I guess.
Being consistent, being able to do it week in and week out, being able to get better week in and week out, and like I said, just trusting each other, leaning on each other, and knowing that we can make the play.
The play last week, that's what I'm saying. The play last week were the first play of the game, and you get your hand in there. I mean, that might have been the biggest play of the entire game because this momentum.
Pick six, huh?
Yeah, I mean, that would have been a bad start. So, like, your mindset when you see that ball's off, you're like, I just got to get my hand.
Yeah,
in
we can't. You try to, you see a bad ball, you got to knock it down. Don't let the defense make a play, and just play the next down.
We've heard a lot about the.
All right, yeah. I mean, for those listening to the podcast, by the way, as Carm asked that first question about the chemistry with Caleb was standing right there. I think was he indulging in those little tiny sandwiches that you had like 17 of?
I did
that or the fruit. Some.
No, he was in on the fruit. There was a 3-lot fruit toothpick with the cantaloupe and the
pineapple.
Could have been a pineapple. Might add a little melon in there. I don't know what was going on, but yeah, that's what he was doing.
Yeah, and then he kind of popped in and waved to the camera there. So a little fun interaction. I mean, I've been covering this league long enough that when things are going well, everybody's happy. Quarterback's happy. The wide receivers are happy. I think we're getting to the point that maybe more importantly, we even had some discussion today about the offensive line and Caleb getting on a good level. Both in terms of physically what they're doing with the pocket, which I want to get into, but also I asked Caleb today about that video that
Coleman
went
Shelton
viral of Coleman Shelton yelling, we got effing fire here, bro. And he's like, I know. And Caleb explained the whole thing. He's like, basically they had a couple different options there. It sounded like more than 2 actually options there. And he saw the fire that Coleman Shelton was referring to too, because he's like, he was like 3 yards off the line of scrimmage. So, he saw that and then, reacted to it, but it always helps when the center and the quarterback are on the same page. And then, he hit Rome Odunze in the flat for a nice little gain. That's actual progress.
He was smiling too a little bit when he was talking.
Yeah, when I brought it up. Yeah.
That was a good moment there.
Yeah. He was that was another interesting moment too. Great, by the way, Hoge, phenomenal performance today. Thought you were feisty Hoge in the front row. Not you were getting pushed back, and you just kept talking and got yourself in there today beautifully. Congratulations. I know you're a veteran, but I think you should be celebrated for your battle today because people were excited to talk.
Well, when the reps are limited as a veteran, you got to take advantage of, what's out there.
You did. Yeah. You seized the moment. And that particular question, I just thought Caleb he wasn't defensive. He was very relaxed. And he's and then he just, underline that. Yeah, I knew exactly what was going on, and that was cool. And that's me in my center. And by the way, the play worked out.
And Caleb obviously knew that you were in the room today because he gave you an MJ shout out.
Oh yeah.
So it's funny that came up because, and I mentioned on this show the other day that me and Tyler Scott are becoming Jordan LeBron debaters. That's been a locker room thing.
Mhm.
And then Caleb came over the other day. I feel like I'm not talking out of turn today because he brought up MJ. And I was like, well, what about your guy over there? Is he an MJ guy or is he a LeBron guy? And Caleb's like, oh, MJ. And then he said it today, which is why Caleb Williams is the greatest quarterback that's ever played football. And we're going to win 10 Super Bowls. See if he's got that level of understanding as a rookie. I'm very confident that we're going the entire distance.
But for those that missed it, I mean, the reason why he brought up Michael Jordan was, he was making the point that he's the GOAT because he won.
Right.
You have to win to be the GOAT. It has to be at that level. And was that in response to the whole conversation about, because Jaden Daniels was being brought up today in some questioning, both to Ryan Poles and Caleb Williams?
Yeah, I think it was in response to that and like being in your own race, right? Like that's what, just being in his own shoes. I think that's how Caleb put it. Ryan Poles put it that way in the own race. But I think it also goes back to, like Keenan said it, as long as they win. Caleb about winning, Keenan about winning. So it doesn't matter essentially how they do it, as long as the result is a W for the Bears. Like that's what the team kind of embodies at this point.
Well, and the winning part too for Keenan is just a good understanding of where he's at. He really, and Briggs and Brown underlined this the other day. Like, look, DJ can want the ball. He's been here the longest. He's the highest paid guy. He is in the middle of his prime. Keenan just got here. He's, there's no way you can just walk into the room and start demanding the football. Rome's a rookie. And same thing with the running backs, like DeAndre Swift, he can want it all, but he can't be making demands. So I just thought that was the Keenan portion of it. It's all about winning, which is a good understanding of what his role is right now.
I mean, I just think that there's progress that we're seeing on the field, and it's jiving with some of these conversations that we've had off the field. No one's been shying away from it. And I think this DJ Moore Caleb thing was, in my mind, never a big deal, but it was a deal. Like, it was a legit deal that it was like
the production was there.
They got to get on the same page. The receiver always wants the production, but that's also best for the team because, as you saw on Sunday, the offense was way better when that was a real thing that was going on.
You're saying it wasn't a big deal because you were confident they would get on the same page eventually.
Yes.
Yep. Right.
I thought it was normal frustration with a lack of production and a rookie quarterback that it's obvious whether you just watch the film or talk to, people on the record around the building that, there was plenty of rookie on the job learning that was going on, which is a completely fair thing to be happening. And I think now we've seen it with both the receivers and the offensive line. There's progress each and every week. That's also reflected, by the way, in his passer rating. If you just look at that from week 1 to week 2 to week 3 to week 4 to week 5, and at some point that's going to reach a cap because at one point in the middle of the game on Sunday, he was almost at a perfect passer rating. So now the one thing I liked hearing from Poles, and we're going to hear, talk more about his press conference, but he talked about how, the offensive line is creating deeper pockets for Caleb to operate in. And as a result, that pocket presence is getting better. Poles said that he thought that Caleb was kind of drifting left early on in the season and kind of putting himself in danger, into some pressure. And now he's sitting in that deep pocket, stepping up, and he looks very, in my opinion, for a guy in his, fifth NFL game, looking very comfortable.
Yeah, that part was interesting too, because one, he's feeling, you could see him just feeling more comfortable, right? talking about it, and I think also like coming off of the last couple of weeks, he can sort of like just take a deep breath and be like, all right, I know I'm going in the right direction here. But it was also like they're learning me and I'm learning them.
Mhm.
So there was that all adds up too as to yes, the Bears don't have the best offensive line in football, but can they be a lot better than they've looked as these two, as the quarterback and the O-line get together and learn each other, and we're starting to see that come together. We'll see how it looks against better competition, but I do think you start seeing it to form in a way that's a lot, gives you some confidence that it's sustainable.
Yeah, and Poles didn't want to like blame the offensive line for all the issues that have been going on. It's all 11 kind of thing. So, but he didn't also think that with the protection issues been hindering Caleb's development in any way. So they see that it's been getting better as of recently, and I think the last game kind of shows that progression that this team is taking.
All right, well, we got a lot more coming up on Ryan Poles' presser, Kevin Warren's presser, stuff that Matt Eberflus had. We got to talk about Jaquan Brisker, who's not here in London and will not be coming to London. So plenty more to come on this jam-packed show, plus our own London experiences. As it's been a fun.
I'm dominating. This town is so my town.
Well, we'll discuss that in a second. First of all, though, we got to thank our friends at Game Time. Part of allowing us to be out here is all our fine sponsors at CHGO. Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to your favorite live events even easier. Game Time Picks filters out all the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. They got the super deal that you can check out. They show you your seats before you buy. Lowest price guarantee, event cancellation protection, even job loss protection is something that they offer. But it all comes back to Game Time Picks for me. Their curation of tickets makes it easier to save more on sports, concerts, comedy, theater, and always last minute. Last minute, especially, the place to go is Game Time, and it goes beyond sporting events. Like I said, concerts, comedy, theater, really anything you might need tickets for. Game Time has it, and they're giving you Game Time ticket coverage. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code CHGO for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code CHGO for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it?
Game time.
Game time.
Go check out Game Time, and I want everyone to also check out CHSN because we're sponsored by Chicago Sports Network, the new home of the Blackhawks, Bulls, and White Sox games. CHSN will broadcast more than 300 live games per year across the Blackhawks, Bulls, and White Sox, and will feature a full lineup of original Chicago-focused sports content. They're also Chicago-based, Chicago-built, and Chicago to the core, and they're bringing it to every corner of Chicago across our 77 neighborhoods and beyond. At CHSN, Chicago comes first. Visit CHSN.com for more info on how to watch the Bulls, Blackhawks, and Sox all season long.
All right, Hoge. Let's get into the GM.
Yeah, Ryan Poles speaking for the first time since the season began. He had a press conference right before week 1, but checking in with the GM a couple weeks into the season. And, I think we kind of touched on what he had to say about Caleb. I want to talk a little bit about Jaquan Brisker, who did not make this trip. We haven't had a chance to have this conversation yet because his news came out Monday as the team was leaving from Chicago. And it wasn't surprising. I mean, we had the discussion in the studio the second that hit happened. And I immediately was like, I don't know if he's going to make the trip to London, because we've seen this before with Jaquan Brisker, where he's finished a game and then come into the building on Monday and reported concussion symptoms. I even think last time it was like illness on Monday that eventually went into concussion symptoms later in the week. So whenever you've had as many concussions as he's had, which I think it's up to 3 documented concussions since he joined the Bears, they start to add up. Whether, there's constantly this discussion about Tua Tagovailoa, obviously, and it's worrisome. He also, just knowing him, he's got to be bummed. I mean, I can't imagine playing the way he plays, putting in the work he puts in, and then finding out on Monday, you're not going to London, you got to stay home. So that's even just on an emotional level, sucks. So Monday, the word was that he could maybe rejoin the team later in the week. That was put to bed today. Ryan Poles, Matt Eberflus both saying he is out this Sunday, and Elijah Hicks will step in and get the start in his place.
I mean, after the game, you guys, there's only a few bit of the media there who actually interviewed him. Like, you could just tell Jaquan wasn't himself, even though, like, Mark Potash specifically asked him, "How are you feeling?" And he said, "Okay." He made it out all right, but he just wasn't his energetic self. Even talking about that big hit, he did show a quick smile, saying it's probably his hardest hit that he's ever delivered in a game. But you could just see afterwards, like, it just wasn't the Jaquan Brisker that we all know, the energetic guy. Even after the big hit, he didn't do the bird celebration. He wasn't in that mindset then. So it's not surprising that he didn't make the trip and is not going to play in this game.
So that's a great point right there. If Jaquan Brisker is himself right there on that big hit, he is definitely getting up.
Mhm.
He's doing this, and
It's like the only time all season he hasn't done that.
right.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, his head hit the ground, and everybody could see it. And Ryan Poles shouted it out today, like it's really credit to Jaquan for coming in and reporting the symptoms. And so then the Bears, of course, didn't travel him, and now he's not going to play. I still go back to the Sunday thing, and I don't want to attack the Bears here. There's a lot going on in the football field, but this is a guy that was concussed at Penn State, and he's been concussed multiple times here with the Bears. You see him go to the turf like that. That's one of your key guys, and even if he was the last guy on the bench, you'd still want to think that the team is going to look out for his health. So
But here's the thing on that. Okay, so Ryan said, and you could be skeptical, I guess, if you want, but he said today all concussion protocols were followed. The symptoms were not reported to Monday. Now, I wasn't there. I don't know what happened on the sideline. He was not pulled out of the game, but that doesn't mean he wasn't evaluated. I mean,
yeah, right.
And concussions can be very tricky. You can get hit and right away go get evaluated by the trainers on the sideline, the doctors on the sideline. It's an independent doctor when you get put in the protocol. But if you're not showing any, so even if you showed signs the second, like on the field, that could have theoretically been missed from the spotter upstairs. And if he wasn't by the time he got to the sideline, he wasn't acting funny or wasn't showing any of that, which is possible, then he's not going to get evaluated by the independent doctor. I don't know if he was or not, but even if he was evaluated by the independent doctor, just because he had symptoms Monday doesn't mean he wasn't showing them in the moment. And so to suggest that all of a sudden the team should go outside of the protocol and just be like, I don't know, let's just hold them out to be safe. Good luck with that. Good luck telling a player, because in some ways the concussion protocol almost protects teams from having to be in that situation.
I hear what you're saying, and I'm not even doubting the Bears that they followed the protocol. I'm not saying they were even trying to get around it. I'm just saying that, again, this is a guy who's been in this spot before. We saw it on TV like everybody else did. I have a hard time believing that they didn't see the same exact thing, and just in the moment, in the competition, trying to win a game, which I forget what the score was at that point too. If we're just going to be, football, let's win. Let's not worry about anything else. I mean, at that point too, the game in depth?
I think that was it was a big play for them. It was like it was in the first half, wasn't it? It wasn't in the second half yet at that point. Like they needed that big hit.
Yeah, it stopped the drive.
Yeah.
Obviously it was a turnover.
Yeah.
But like that's the other thing is like it wasn't like there was a next play to have him, a spotter be like, he's got to be pulled.
Right.
Because they were off the field immediately. And sometimes you're protected a little bit there on the sideline.
Right, they got the turnover. Look. Bottom line, just taking the Bears out of it for a second. I just feel bad for Brisker. The guy is a tremendous competitor. He's willing to put his body on the line. The energy that he brings to that defense is incredibly needed and appreciated. And it just sucks that he's in this spot where 4 concussions as a Bear, 5 overall. It's a lot.
And what I liked hearing from both Poles and Flus today was, because I had the same opinion, even in the moment, I thought that Brisker actually used proper technique there and got his head out of the way.
Yep.
And he's going to be playing with the speed he always plays with, the intensity he always plays with. But if he can do it with proper technique, he's lowering the percentages of him suffering another concussion. And Flus said it, that Poles gave him credit for what he did, and Flu said he's like he used the technique we've been teaching, or I've been teaching since 1995.
Right.
And they both thought he got his head out of the way, and unfortunately, the offensive player lowered his head, and it is football. So as much as you use the proper technique, concussions are still in play on any given play.
And the way he plays, it's like, even if he does use the right technique, he's looking to deliver that big hit. That's what he wants. That's how Jaquan Prisker plays. So even though he did the right technique, like you said, Adam, it's a physical game. It can happen.
And I'd have to go back and double check my work on this, or maybe triple check it, and I'm not going to. So let's just this could be erroneous, but it has felt to me that for a while there he did sort of stop laying the lumber as much as he had, because he dealt with a bunch of concussions in a short period of time. I thought he stepped back, and then recently this year he's gone back to playing the way he was early in his career, and it was noticeable to me, the change. And now he's in a weird spot where he's kind of got to navigate playing the way he wants to play versus trying to keep himself healthy. Does that feel wrong to you?
I don't know that he's really stepped back.
We've asked him before too. I think it was after the last concussion, are you going to change your approach? And he had he didn't want to, basically. He wanted to keep playing the same phusicality that he had been playing.
It's a tough part of that position. You got to play that way. I mean, the good ones have to play that way.
You see what kind of play? So that play happened. It was 14-7 Bears, but the Panthers were driving, and he caused a fumble, and the Bears capitalized with a touchdown right afterwards.
So that was it was 14-7?
14-7, so in the second quarter.
So that plays into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And, I mean, didn't someone on Sunday bring up Mike Brown as a comp? Was it?
Yeah, no, people have been saying that.
And it's that same sort of feeling, right? It's like, oh man, when he's on the field, he's a difference maker. But can you stay on the field is the question. And anytime these concussions start to add up, you got to be worried.
Well, and then back to the health thing. At least, yes, you're not flying, you're not playing, you have the bye week, and we'll see how long after that it takes for him to come back. Maybe it'll just be this week, and he can come back after the bye, or maybe it'll be longer.
Could be. Questions are tricky.
Anything else on polls that we didn't talk about here, Hoge?
I don't think so.
Is there anything offensive line? Jaden Daniels was brought up.
Well, he doubled down, and maybe it was a minor, tiny flex from polls, which is great, because he made a comment right before the season about the depth of his O-line, and I think that was questioned in the first couple of weeks. But now you see a game on Sunday where Matt Pryor and Bill Murray are finishing the game, and it's as good as it looked all season. Now, if you want to play it's the Panthers card as a response,
you definitely could.
I'll listen to you. But I do think there's some truth to the idea that, they had two backups in there against an NFL team, regardless of who it is, and things were actually pretty. Bill Murray graded out really well in that game.
He made some really nice blocks in that game, Bill Murray.
I get a loaf on this whole thing because I was trying to get out on polls and I didn't get out on polls. And my question for polls was going to be like, have the struggles of the offensive line? What are you seeing? How were you surprised that they've gotten off to a slow start? But I didn't get that question in. And then when you asked him on the Nate Davis thing, it was interesting that he basically leaned into. And you get the quote here. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a little up and down, but again, he credited the depth of the offensive line for Matt Pryor to kind of step up there, and just, that's a job to build a roster, and he thinks Matt's done a really good job. And he also said Nate has some things that he can continue to work on, as he is now on the bench looking at Matt Pryor in his spot right now.
Nate Davis may have played his last snap as a Bear. It's on the table.
He finished that quote by saying, we're gonna need everybody to stay ready.
Yep. With the injuries of the offensive line, we might see Nate Davis again.
Let's hope that Ryan Bates gets back healthy, although when he was given all the injury reports, it doesn't sound like that's coming anytime soon. So, maybe we will see Nate again.
Yeah, because Jacob Martin had his window activated. Larry Borum
is getting close.
Getting close, and Bates wasn't even mentioned.
No, Bates was not mentioned.
He mentioned Bates. But he said he's a little ways away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I missed that.
Yeah.
And that, okay.
Long day.
So, all right. Listen, The other thing, last thing on polls, and I know we are moving the show along here, but the whole run your own race thing about Caleb and Jaden was I liked how he said that.
Well, let's get to that next.
Okay, we'll do that next. Let's talk about something that gets your excitement to the next level. When you're in London, Hoge, Nick, Carm, Braggs, and you want that extra, how am I going to say this? Power.
My dad's in the room.
I know, I see him. But listen, we're talking about taking your sex game to the next level. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about having, you might be tired after a long day of covering football and you might not be feeling it, but Blue Chew will get you right into your prime no matter what time of day, no matter your age, and you will be feeling yourself in a way that will make you proud. Does it work? Of course it works. Don't think you need it. Listen,
Does it help with typos?
That's funny. Listen, you can do whatever you want to do, Hoge, but bottom line is you could try Blue Chew free for a month and you're going to love it. Your partner's going to love it. I won't say names, but everybody around here who's brought partners with them, they're all going to love it. You could be missing out on the best sex of your life. So quit doing that. Get yourself with Blue Chew. Men everywhere are excited to see they're excited to see the postman because your package has already arrived. It's there and it's ready.
Is that a code word?
Yes, I don't know. Yes, it absolutely is. So congratulations to everybody who's already just taken my advice and gotten the Blue Chew going on her because I know their lives have gotten to a whole nother next level. And
read the yellow part, please.
Yes. Okay. Well, I just love our friends at Blue Chew, and I'm sorry that I go along when I get to read these because I'm just very passionate about being your best. Hey, we got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew free when you use our promo code ALLCITY at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's it. That's BlueChew.com. Promo code's ALLCITY to receive your first month free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcasts and men everywhere are thanking them for what's going on in their pants.
Well, once you feel the power and excitement,
That's not in there.
That is not in there.
double take.
Once you feel the power and excitement of Blue Chew,
Yeah.
then you can check out Circa. What a combo there.
That
Whether
is
it's
a combo.
pro or college, the app to bet football is Circa Sports Illinois. Circa Sports, it's sports betting the way it should be. Circa Sports Illinois has high betting limits, low holds, and exceptional customer service. Bet on all your favorite teams in every game this season. The spreads, props, futures, or in-game, Circa Sports has it all. And look, you can fun and bet like a pro from anywhere, anytime in Illinois. So download your new bookie today at circasports.com. You must be 21 or older. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER, GAMBLER.
All right. So I've been getting a lot of messages, I know, from people who are coming out here to London. So I just want to reiterate this because we are here. We know a lot of people are coming out tomorrow. Our group with True Fan Travel gets here tomorrow. Really excited about that. Maybe you're coming elsewhere. There are still tickets available to the river cruise happening tomorrow night, Thursday evening. We also have a show right before that at Passy-Yunk. So if you're looking for one of the free events, Passy-Yunk is where you want to be tomorrow. Passy-Yunk Avenue in Waterloo, the Waterloo location. We have a live show at 4 p.m. London time. If you want to watch it back home, if you're back home, that means it's a 10 a.m. Central show. So timing will be a little bit off tomorrow. We'll have a morning edition of CHGO Bears back home. And it'll be a fun one at Passy-Yunk because the place looks incredible. It looks really fun, and we're going to be there. You guys will be out covering practice tomorrow. Braggs, who just got back from Paris, that's why he's not on the show today, will be with me at Passy-Yunk by about 3 o'clock. It sounds like maybe even a little earlier, but we're officially going to be there from 3 to 6. If you want to come out, say hello. And then if you want a bonus time, you can buy tickets to the river cruise, which is happening after that tomorrow night. For those, you got to go to truefantravel.com. And I promise you they're on there. I've been getting messages about this, but if you scroll down under build your own package, it will not take you to a Blue Chew ad. It'll take you to where you can buy tickets. You can buy single tickets or whatever you want for the river cruise specifically.
Right, but bring the Blue Chew with you to London because you never know who you're going to meet on that cruise. For you single people out there, just be ready. It's gonna be a great time. I think that
we need a Bragg's cam on this show. He's in the room, and the amount of times he's just shaking his head has made me laugh.
Well, that's it's great to have Gregory here, and it's also really amazing that he doesn't have a microphone. I find it to be uplifting for the show. Yeah, I know you're going to come and take mine in a second. That's fine. You're welcome to. I'd love to hear your thoughts about the Eiffel Tower and
Bragg's cam.
Yeah,
Yep, Bragg's cam. Didn't even see it.
There's nothing better in my life than when I open up social media and I see Greg Braggs posting pictures of the Eiffel Tower and using words like stunning. I mean, this guy, it's just you can't box him in.
Yeah. And then he got to London and he posted a picture of Taco Bell.
Yes,
exactly. He'll go Taco Bell London all the way to the Eiffel Tower.
Get it all with Greg.
It's insulting right now to London. London is insulted
by Taco Bell.
Yeah. No, we're gonna have a great time. I'm so happy that Greg is here. I missed him the last couple of days.
The Tower of London is right over there. Can you go take a nice picture of that and put that out there in Twitter?
Not when Taco Bell's there, Adam.
Yeah, that's a good point.
All right, let me get us back on track here and talk.
I wanted to hear about your best part of your day in London.
The best part of my day?
Was it when I pulled an audible and we took the train home instead of the 2-hour media bus?
Well, they're still on the bus.
The entire train
ride.
Are
they really?
No.
I mean, they might be.
They might be.
The entire train ride was I had to deal with a certain level of beration on my tweets today.
Yeah.
Because they weren't apparently as they had one of them might have had a typo, and somebody out there seems to think that we were not clear enough that DJ Moore and Caleb Williams were having a great time today. And so I defended myself and
to the entire train.
Yes, that's correct. I did. and
plenty of F-bombs dropped in the process.
Did that actually happen?
You turned into
angry car.
I mean, the amount of times you said the F word in 15 seconds at one point.
that's funny.
And the lady to our left looked concerned.
Oh yeah,
did she?
Oh yeah, we were getting looks.
I apologize to that lady, and that's bad. I shouldn't have done that. I had no idea.
But we did make friends with Pam at the train station.
We did.
Pam was great.
Where? Yeah.
At where were we?
Where?
At the Ware train station, right?
Ware train station.
Yeah. No, I've had a great day. It's been lovely. I slept terribly last night. No one cares about this, but when I came down, the Hoge family was already having breakfast, and CEO Spano was there, and I ate everything in there and just got the day going. And from there, it's just been. Listen, I love London. I'll be staying when you guys head back.
What about Jeff Joniak internationally harassing you?
That was great. That was my favorite part of the day.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
From his room in the back.
Multiple times.
Multiple times.
We had it in the press conference room.
We're standing.
We're
standing in the press conference room.
The British media was introduced to the Joniak-Carm rivalry.
Right. And you talk about out of context with my tweets. Joniak in front of everybody is like, why are you here? You don't even show up at Hallis Hall, and now you're here in London. And I was like, know my schedule. I go to Hallis on Fridays, and don't internationally shame me.
Yeah. And then we go to record our little preview videos for this podcast, and then out of nowhere, right before we're going to start, we just hear Jeff Joniak again
from his
palatial room,
from his king's cave up there in Joniak land,
in the castle.
Step to your left, Carman. No, he didn't do it like that, but
no, he definitely did not do the British accent.
Yeah,
Pam liked your British accent. Or whatever
Pam thought it was German.
German, that's what it was.
For being,
she liked your accent.
She thought you were from Germany while you tried to do a British accent.
Should we play the Pam video?
I'm surprised she believed you at all, though. I'm like, but German.
We can maybe bring the Pam video
by
the end of the show. It's not going to happen instantly, but we can bring it back for the end of the show.
Okay, I love the Pam video. All right,
another reason why Braggs is not on the show today is because we're about to do a segment on the stadium.
Oh,
and Greg's leaving. Greg just got here.
Gregory, there's tea out there and water. I would love one of the two. Thank you very much, Gregory.
And I'll take a Miller Lite.
Bye, Greg.
He said he's gonna go get a drink.
Old fashioned, please.
That's rude.
Yeah,
you would think he'd be supporting his teammates, just sitting there.
He's stadium talk, man. It gets him like that.
Yeah.
So look, Kevin Warren talked today. So obviously, most of the questions are about the stadium. I don't think anything changed. Do you have any opinion, Stadium Man?
Well, I'm going to give you a little behind the scenes here. I mean, I was getting some level of they're going to be saying that they're going to Arlington Heights. This is what and I never reported on that because I didn't have it locked down at all. So I didn't.
That turned out to be wrong.
And so, and correct. Apparently that is not accurate to this point. So I was half expecting with Warren talking today that he was going to say something about we are making a pivot, and none of that happened. And Hoge, you made the point that he mentioned Arlington Heights a little bit more as like we have other options, but he is determined as best he can, from what I can see, to continue to go down the Chicago path and make have as many conversations to get this thing done. I mean, this is clearly for the zillionth time what he wants. And I asked him, I said, "Are you getting a little exhausted about this?" And he's like, "Exhausted, me," or whatever the word I use. He's like, "Never." So, okay, Kevin Warren's not giving up on this in any way, shape, or form. And I was kind of surprised to see it.
Just real quick, I mean, he kept saying that downtown Chicago was a focus, but then he was also asked, like, if you're building a stadium, would it work regardless of where the location's at? If the focus was only Chicago, wouldn't that be the renderings for every stadium? Wouldn't it only be Chicago based? But it was asked in reference to Arlington Heights being a possibility.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of my two questions. And I brought up, you guys all saw in Hard Knocks, most of you probably watching the show saw Hard Knocks, when they very randomly had a scene in the middle of all the football stuff. It was about a 30-second scene, or at least it seemed that way. It was very short, of
the high tops,
them
right?
discussing, and at the top end of the organization, by the way, the people that were in that room discussing literally like the seats, like high top tables in the suites at the stadium that they're clearly designing right now.
Right.
And one of the reasons why I thought that was interesting, I mean, I don't think it was an accident. It was put in Hard Knocks to eventually lead to me asking a question about it a couple months later. But okay, you're at the point where you're designing the stadium. Do you have to design two different stadiums here, or can they work in both? And he said, you want to build a stadium where it really becomes agnostic from a location standpoint, because it takes so much time from a planning standpoint. So you need to make sure your construction fits. The focus is the museum campus. Again, he kept throwing that in there. That is still the focus, but he also put in there right now. And the very big reality of this whole thing, I think we got to pare this down to what really matters. There are limited windows in a calendar year where you're going to get Springfield to approve money. And the other thing he keeps saying on top of the focus is the museum campus is construction starting in 2025.
He does keep saying that. That's true.
2025 is 2.5 months away.
Very close.
The last time I checked the calendar. Now, it could happen anytime, but that basically means in the next 14.5 months, for him to be held to that timeline, a shovel needs to go in the ground.
His words.
Either in the museum campus or in Arlington Heights. And my point is, what I keep hearing from Springfield, by the way, is this is like a non-starter right now. Now, it's politics. It can change, and it can sometimes change very, very quickly. We have stories in history of the clocks literally being changed in Springfield so that they can hit a midnight deadline to build what is now, whatever they call it, the rate field, or
right,
for the White Sox stadium, because it's no longer a guaranteed rate, by the way, that company. So my point is, things can change, but the window's starting to close here very, very fast. And a lot needs to change very, very quickly for them to get the funding they need. And meanwhile, sitting in Arlington Heights, another thing that Kevin Warren keeps mentioning in multiple press conferences now, they are the largest landowner in Arlington Heights, which led to my second question to him, which was, Kevin, before you got here, and this is now over 2 years ago, there was a press conference, or not, I'm sorry, a town hall meeting. It wasn't a press conference. It was a town hall meeting that the media was invited to, where they went through this entire rendering of Arlington Park that had everything except the stadium. And then, but your focus is on the museum campus. And my point of that question was everything they talked about on that night in Arlington Heights was about how you own the land. You can do all these things beyond just building a stadium, a multi-purpose land opportunity. And yet the museum campus does not offer that. So why do you lean towards this? Essentially, why does that, in your mind, the museum campus trump everything they talked about in Arlington Heights? They didn't really have an answer to that, other than that's obviously where he wants to build the stadium.
Well, he said that it's 326 acres is sweet, but
unique, yeah.
But
the word.
And what you can do there with the rivers flowing through there or whatever makeshift ponds that Arlington Heights has put on that property that they could do, but that doesn't trump being on the lakefront. Period. End of story. We can build all the real estate out there that would be a cool thing, but that to him, that opportunity does not measure up to what it would be like to actually build a stadium on the lakefront.
Yeah, he said that the museum campus has attributes that don't exist anywhere in the world. Arlington Heights has really unique aspects, but he also said, none of these attributes override each other. It's just you look at the positive attributes in each place. Each place is going to have certain attributes that obviously you can look to maximize, and still the museum focus. The museum is,
but see, that's where I'm obviously going to call him out and say, because you're right. Because I think the overriding was my word in the question, and he was trying to make the point that one doesn't necessarily but yet the focus is the museum campus. So clearly in his mind, it does override everything else. And I do find the dynamic interesting. We've talked about this before. Kevin Warren wasn't here when all that planning started in Arlington Heights. He wasn't here when Ted Phillips went down the road of purchasing that land. And by the time he got here, it was probably too late to pivot off of it. And they went ahead and closed the deal. And now they have all this land. But I still wonder to this day if that would have happened if Kevin Warren had gotten here 2 years earlier.
The only thing I wanted to call Kevin Warren out on today was when he was talking about, last week at the game on the lakefront, so beautiful, sun shining, the wind. And I'm like, you're building a dome. There won't be there won't be any wind. You'll have air conditioning, and you're going to be able to look through the ceiling. But that wind thing that you're talking about, that
won't exist.
That's not going to be a thing.
That's a fair point, though. Like the fact that it is going to have a roof, which they've said over and over again, including at the Arlington Heights town hall over 2 years ago, they said roof was the plan. Doesn't that nix some of the benefits of the lakefront?
You can't, even if it was an open stadium, how many people are looking at the lakefront while there's a game going on?
I mean, are we really basing this off of just like the TV shots?
He wants that stadium in Chicago, man. It bottom line, he wants to walk with the wind in his hair that he doesn't have.
Yeah, he doesn't have.
And head into that stadium and feel the air conditioning as the wind. And look outside and see the non-blue water of
oh my God, Bragg.
non-blue water of Lake Michigan. This is a terrible idea.
Aggressive move.
This guy just spent.
Greg just got here from Paris.
Is this complimentary of Bragg's or complimentary of? Let's see.
Oh man. Well, thank you, Braggs.
Water, not
Oh, that's what Courtney Corona was saying. She was asked, is that vodka? It kind of looks like it.
Thank you so much, Gregory.
Well,
Greg's here.
We're in London. It has been a long day, and it's 7:50. What? Oh man, I had some of this yesterday. It was fantastic.
Wow.
Greg just paid $138 for a round because he's the greatest.
Pounds.
Oh yes, that's right. It's pound sterling. You excellent point. That is the currency here. I've really, unfortunately, forgotten that a couple of times. But was that not fun today when they told us, well, you get the golf bucket to take you up the golf bucket? You didn't know that, Hoge.
I know
the golf.
Cheers.
Cheers, Gregory.
Cheers, Stephen.
Cheers, Stephen. Cheers, Hoge.
London, baby.
Cheers, Caleb.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, everybody.
And the golf bucket was the golf cart, right?
Yes.
Yeah, there's a number of different words here that are.
Oh, Steven, you just drank it all.
Was I not supposed to?
That was not a shot.
That wasn't a shot.
That explains why I took 2 gulps. Okay, well,
I was watching that. I'm like, oh God.
I mean, that would.
You
refer to
can
this-
drink it. There's no rules here, Steven. You're
well,
you're
I
good.
just did, so there's
This
no
is
going
a-
back now.
Yeah,
This is a single finger of bourbon, is what I would call it.
It's good.
One
Yeah, it was
finger,
good.
one
It was
finger
delicious.
pour.
We're cheering you, Ryan Poles, and
Yeah.
and you, Kevin Warren.
All the people watching.
Oh, okay. Jenny's here.
Can-
Thank you.
Can we wrap up the Warren conversation as we enjoy Greg buying around for the team here? With this, there is literally no one that you can find that thinks it's possible for the Bears to be on the lakefront except for me and Kevin Warren. And I don't really even believe it at this point. Like I think I was ready to concede. They're going to Arlington Heights. It ain't happening. Illinois doesn't want to do it. They're not going to give them anything. But Kevin Warren is just like he's just going to keep barreling through. So if he actually does pull this off at some point, it is the greatest performance in negotiating history of
I'll hand it to him 100%.
like. No one thinks this can happen. Mark Potash asked 800 questions today. It's like, no, and I thought Potsy was doing a great job as he always does. But Warren's just like, get that question away from me, Teflon. It's not happening. I still want this. Okay, let's go.
Yes,
2025.
Yes, 326 acres in Arlington Heights. So, just saying.
I want to before we get out of here, I want to get to some of the
Get out of here. We just started.
It's been 52 minutes.
I got so much more to get to.
Do you
Really?
Yeah.
name one thing?
You put
I want to talk about.
I'll help you. Kevin Warren was asked about playing international games.
Yeah.
None of that I care about. But go ahead.
Well, I thought. Well, here. If there was one tiny, it wasn't necessarily a declaration, but I thought it was newsy. Matty. So to give people take people inside the press conference. First of all, gorgeous room.
A wedding can be held there.
Nick, you might want to reconsider your wedding venue because that place was phenomenal.
Have you put the wedding venue out there publicly or no?
It's on couples coverage.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, see,
Nick's getting married in Wilmington, North Carolina. I'll do your own wedding announcement.
There you go.
The home of Jordan. You're getting married where Jordan grew up. It's the greatest accomplishment in wedding history.
When I told him that was the first thing he brought up. Jordan, Wilmington. Of course. I mean, right? You had
and Nick
to,
did
but
not know that.
I did not.
Sonny Vaccaro went to Wilmington to see Dolores Jordan. Nicholas Moreano is going to Wilmington to get married. There's nothing that's ever happened in the history of this podcast that's better than that. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So, but you might want to reconsider the
Yeah.
place today
Yeah.
was unbelievable.
Beautiful.
So we're in this gorgeous room that's like they got these curtains. It looks like a tent. There's an unbelievable. I mean, when we got off that bus and walked through there to get to the media area, I was like, I think I'm in a movie right now.
Hogwarts. It gave me Hogwarts vibes with all the green. Like it was beautiful.
You could go Hogwarts. You can go like any movie you've ever seen that takes place in England, like an English garden, because that was literally an English garden we were in, by the way. Anyway,
Beatles.
Braggs,
that's what we're talking about. The Beatles.
there was an interesting dynamic of you have your basically 10 reporters from Chicago that were there that we're like basically, yeah, we're here to just cover our,
the normal.
we don't get to,
another week.
like these, and then there's the international media that's there. The international media has no idea that we get to talk to Ryan Poles and Kevin Warren like just a handful of times throughout the course of the year.
We were not nice. We were jumping all over those.
So we're there and we're like, yeah, we're all going to be in the front row and we're getting our questions. And then there'd be the random. So if you had to make your case to someone in the UK who has not picked an NFL team yet, what's your case?
Yeah.
And then the next question would be
Don't care.
what about the stadium on the lakefront, though? I mean, that's basically what this press conference was. It was fun. It was fun, and look, everybody's there to do a job. There's no problem there whatsoever. But it was just kind of an interesting dynamic, and that's why the international games question came up, though, Carm. And it was like, so Flus gets asked like about the idea of having to play an international game every year, and the question was, can you get used to that idea? And he was basically like, that's happening.
Yeah,
like he's already accepted the fact that teams are going to start to have to play an international game every single year. I just thought that was an interesting answer. You just like put it out there. Yeah, I think that's going to happen. I mean, I think it's going to happen too, but it's different when you hear an NFL coach say that.
Well, then Kevin Warren too. He's like, I'm extremely positive about international growth. I'm all for international growth, anything to build a brand. I can see that.
He also said he wanted to shrink the world, which kind of freaked me out.
He's powerful enough
He-
to do that.
I know. I'm
If he
like,
can build the stadium in Chicago, I think he can also, shrink the world at the same time. He's got that power.
I mean, look, couldn't be happier that we're here. I'm having a great time. 1,000%. Would love to. Hopefully, we'll get to do more things like this in the future from a personal standpoint. And like for those, if it's not me, whoever gets to do it down the line. However, this is one of the Bears home games. Would I rather, as a Bears fan, have them play a 9th home game at Soldier Field versus come over here and play? I'd rather it be at Soldier Field every single time. I don't. Not in the least do I want to.
what about Arlington Heights?
Same thing. I'd rather play in Arlington Heights. That's beautiful, pathetic suburb.
Wow.
I live there.
Yeah,
I know.
I'm going to go full selfishness on you. I totally disagree with you. Let's go to Madrid next year.
Let's go to Australia.
Let's
Like,
go to
that was announced.
Australia for Tory
Or-
Taylor. Let's go to Brazil.
If you didn't,
Let's go to Germany.
but if you didn't,
Let's go to Italy.
if you didn't have the unbelievable, fortune of working for an incredible man like Brandon Spano and ALLCITY, who's sending you there, would you still feel the same way? If you're
I
a
think
standard,
do you know how many Bears fans are coming here?
oh, okay.
We sold a whole trip package.
Hey, you saw Northwestern International, didn't you?
Yes, I saw the Northwestern Wildcats play in Dublin. It was great.
Take me to Dublin.
I'm
I
not-
spent 3 hours in Dublin. once.
Listen, for those who can
Lost my bag.
for those who can afford to come and do all this, I think it's absolutely phenomenal. But that's a very small populace. This is
I
not.
hate to break it to you. It's a small populace that can afford going to a Bears game at Soldier Field.
It's a much larger populace than that. I'm here for the little people out here, damn it. But they're not that little, to your point, that can go to a Bears game now.
Yeah.
You're right. But there's a lot.
I mean, there are multiple people in this room that have not been to a Bears regular season game. Well, actually, I corrected my dad. He did go to one. But he's been to a couple. But the point is, there's people. Steven's never been to a regular season Bears game,
My dad hasn't either. Now that I
and
think
he's
about
going to the game on Sunday. So I'm just saying, like, there are people that make a thing out of this.
which is great.
Yeah.
It's great.
And there are fans in the UK that can't go to Chicago
they really appreciate this.
that are really happy that the Bears are here.
I get growing the game. I get all. Let's squeeze every drop out of the lemon and
Grow the game, shrink the world. Grow the game, shrink the world. Kevin Warren.
I just haven't ever really like the Cubs playing in Japan or the Bears playing in London or the
love
Northwestern playing in Ireland. Speed home Chicago. Give me the home games. I don't know. Maybe I'm a simpleton. I'm a
Carm's
simpleton.
ready to go home already.
I'm a simpleton.
He's like, I can't do this all week.
I don't even want to go home ever. I kind of want to stay. I love London, but that's not the point. I don't know. I'm not trying to throw cold water on. I love being here, but like again, I'm just for the standard. Does the standard Bear fan out there want the Bears to go to London and play a game each year, or would they rather have them play at home for that game? I would think the answer is play the home game.
I can't see the chat because we're remote. But what are people saying?
I would
Steven?
agree with you, Mark, that most people agree with that.
A
Most
lot
Bears
of
fans.
a lot of people are saying, all right, I'll take C Ruby 23 here for instance. He says, I have never been to Soldier Field and I'm born and raised in Chicago.
Mhm.
So I mean, when you take that and then you also look at there's fans in every single city that haven't had that chance. At least now there's so many Bears fans in London, they actually have that chance now.
To me, the bigger inconvenience is if you're at home this weekend, the game's at 8:30 in the morning. That would be the part that I wouldn't like.
That's
the
another
best
thing.
part. You could watch football all day long.
Literally
without
all
stopping.
day. All day.
Okay. I guess. Okay. Point taken. I lose that one.
Okay.
See how easy it is to say you lose an argument?
Yeah. Okay. I'll take that under advisement.
for the next argument.
Now
maybe.
we'll have our next argument.
Yeah.
The train we were just on in England here was way better than the Metro.
That's not how I've
Yeah.
lived my life. Ever.
Okay, real quick though, I got to shout out our diehards
Oh.
because diehards are the
Why we're
best.
here.
That's another thing, by the way, Hoge, and all the way up to upper management. We're bringing back. I'm shouting out diehards
Do you
personally.
have them? Well, in the meantime, while you look that up,
Yeah.
become a diehard, CHGO diehard. Go to allchgo.com/diehard. You get all the perks to being a diehard, which includes discounts on events, 20% off all events, all merchandise. You get to come on opportunities like we have here to London, and you get access to all of my written content, Nick's written content, Carm's written content that is exclusive only to diehard. We have plenty of other content too that's free, including this show. But for those of you that love it, want to support the company, support what we're doing, becoming a diehard is a great way to do it. and we greatly appreciate all of you that are CHGO diehards.
And today's diehard that we're honoring is Palmer. Palmer.
I had a friend named Palmer growing up. I think he's the only Palmer I know.
Yeah, no, and
I don't know.
Palmer's been up and he's been down and he's been around. But you know what I love about Palmer? Palmer's a guy that, he might not
He's
wake.
bringing this back.
That's right.
Yeah, that's
Palmer and
We
I.
had upper management shoot this down.
Yeah,
But we're in London.
but we're in
they're
London
not
because-
here now.
So they can't get you?
They
and he's-
can't get you.
I think
Kevin
Kevin rules.
Cannon's
You're good.
landing like right now.
He's not watching the show. Exactly. Palmer is the guy that he might wake up in the morning and not feel great, but he's going to put on he's going to put on his best Palmer face, and he's going to show up and he's going to get it done day in and day out. It's a Carson Palmer-esque workman-like attitude that I really appreciate about Palmer. And the fact that Palmer is a diehard should make you want to be a diehard.
I would have gone Arnold Palmer.
And also that's the other thing about Palmer. He's a great golfer. He's a great drink. He's a great hang. He's got an affability to him that you don't find in the regular Palmers. This Palmer is the best Palmer. Arnie be damned. Our Palmer is a diehard, and we love you and we thank you, Palmer.
R.I.P. Arnie.
R.I.P.
That was
Arnie.
great.
Is Jack still with us?
Yes.
Okay, good. You're the
Still
golf
hosts-
guy.
He still hosts the tournament.
Okay. Well, how old is Jack?
Probably 80 now, 82.
They had a nice- they
I'm
had
going
a
to go
nice golf
82.
course.
Look that up. I'm
Uh,
going 82 is my guess.
I'm going 86.
Okay.
Like 1986 when he came back in
84.
84.
We split the difference.
January
It's a
21st.
tie.
It's a good job.
The argument I'm going to win, though, for sure, is that the train we were just on coming back from where
Where?
was way better than the Metro. And this personally offended Carm. I mean, he was already mad at me about the Twitter criticism, but this one sent him over the edge.
I mean, he's right. You're right, Adam. It is way better. It
Yeah.
has Wi-Fi on it. It was clean.
Don't tell me the Metro has Wi-Fi. It does. It sucks. It doesn't work ever.
I'm not going to tell you the Metro has Wi-Fi. I am going to tell you that the Metro in Chicago it's a double-decker situation. You could sit downstairs, you could sit upstairs, you could sit in the single chair upstairs, you could sit in the double chair downstairs.
They have double-decker buses here.
But that's not what this was. This was a long, snaky, pregnant worm train that did not go as fast as the Metro.
It was
And the
quieter, smoother. The seats were more
You fell asleep
comfortable.
on it.
You fell asleep
you
on
think
it.
I've never fallen asleep on the Metro? That's
I don't
come
know.
on. Are you kidding?
Arm wakes up in Fox Lake every 3 days.
Listen. Papa Hoge is here. He loves the Metro coming out of Fox Lake, and so do I. Shout out to Ray Chevrolet, who's coming to London. Metro greater than whatever that thing was today. That thing
I actually forget the name of
goes
it.
way too slow.
It was
Things
not
takes forever.
slow.
Slow.
We were out in the country. We got in 40 minutes.
You
Dude,
got in here
should have been.
plenty of
Metro
time
would have had
before
us there in
showtime.
36. Chicago, I'm here for you today.
Nobody in Chicago.
And the suburbs.
No one in Chicago personally defends the Metro.
Yeah, I don't see any like diehard Metro.
You were the one, by the way, that on our way there was saying how much better the Tube is than the L.
The L's struggling. The L's got to come together.
Well, it is way better. Every city has a better train system than Chicago. Not every city, every major city. London, Paris, New York City, all better than. But what I did say, and I will stand by this, while I don't know you had a funny line about going around the L in downtown in the loop at 1 mile per hour. Not very efficient. That is a great point. But my response to that was, at least it gives our city character, because not many cities have
It looks
elevated trains going around with beautiful shots of the skyline.
True, it's beautiful and the screeching noises it makes.
The
It's so
screeching
good.
noise, it's so loud.
It's so
You ever get
good.
stuck under Lake Street when the L's going over like
I like
40
seeing the
miles an hour?
sparks fly.
And
my head just like explodes.
and because we're so good at managing our money, the city of Chicago. One day when we never fix that thing, and it collapses one day.
Yeah, right.
That's okay. That was a bad comment.
Well,
So-
didn't the train go up the escalator at O'Hare once?
Up the escalator.
I don't
That was a
remember that.
thing I was thinking about, because we got on the train at O'Hare the other day before we got here, and as we were coming into the O'Hare Blue Line stop, I was like, I seem to remember one time the train just went off the tracks and up the escalator.
That sounds
I
like it
already
was
hate
in a
escalators.
dream, or you were watching Silver Streak.
No, my dad's over there nodding his head that
That happened.
That's a real thing that happened. I swear.
It's terrifying. I don't like escalators.
Because it sounds like Braggs was driving that train.
Blue line crash O'Hare.
um,
Video shows moment of impact in blue line crash.
okay, there it
March
is.
2014.
Wow.
Okay, 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
All right, hold on. As we
Yeah.
just wrap up this fine broadcast, we're back tomorrow at, again, live from Pass the Young Bar here.
More cookies.
What is up with the cookies here?
4
So many
p.m., 10
cookies.
a.m. live on the thing, on your YouTube stream. Hope to see you there if you're not in London. Otherwise, come and see us. Braggs will be there at 3, buying everybody drinks, because I keep on putting that out on Twitter that's what he's going to do. Today was a great day for the Bears. I thought it was a great day. What are you laughing at?
Greg just laughing in the background.
It was a great
Yeah,
day.
why was it
stadium.
a great day?
What?
You see, that's funny that's what he's laughing. No, why was today a great day?
Yeah.
Because Caleb Williams was joking around with DJ Moore, and DJ Moore was joking around with Caleb Williams, and Caleb was joking around with Keenan, and DeAndre Swift was joking around about, they're not even joking around about how he wants to get the ball at the goal line like everybody else would. There's a good vibe around the team right now. That's all I'm saying. They were 1-2.
Yeah,
It was
they've won 2 games in a row.
That's right. They were 1-2, lost to the Colts. Things looked pretty nauseating at that point in time. 2 weeks later, 2 victories, including a blowout one, and with a chance to beat Jacksonville here, and the quarterback getting better. 126 rating, 20 for 29, 2 touchdowns, not turning it over. I just thought today was a good day for the Bears. Really
Well, we obviously have
a good week for the Bears.
Yeah, and by the way, we're gonna have 2 more shows this week. Well, 3, including 4 actually, if we're going to go all the way to
3
Monday. But I mean, before the game on we have a game. We have a show tomorrow. And we have a show Friday. So that's all coming your way. We got plenty of time to break down this game coming up against the Jags. Is my point. But I do think this is a big game. You know, like I don't think this
I
is.
agree.
If they had lost, I would have called this a must-win. But they beat the Panthers. I thought that was pretty much a must-win. I thought both of the last 2 games were like you when you look at this gauntlet coming up in the schedule, you got to start stacking some wins here. I think it's a very important game. I don't know if it's a must-win category, but it is. You feeling a lot better yourself going in the bye week at 4-2 than 3-3 losing to the Jacksonville Jaguars, who just won their first game a couple days ago.
No doubt about it. I mean, taking care of business in this international game is not going to be easy for both these teams. But, I mean, if you can do that, have the win streak going into the bye, you just feel so much better as a team, especially if the offense continues to make the right trend with Caleb playing well, the offensive line protecting him. You feel so much better coming out of this week going into the bye if that happens.
Yeah. All right. Well, you got anything else?
We got some super chats. We want to do those.
Oh,
Let's get the super.
Let's
can't
go,
see those
Steven.
things, so-
Let's go.
All right. First one comes from Gritty, $10. Let's go, lads. I'm hyped for a bloody good show this Sunday. Glad to see on the world news, Carm hasn't upset global relations yet.
he's
Have fun
trying
over there, fellas.
hard.
Bear
He's-
down.
He's trying really hard.
He'll get there.
I mean, at some point, he's going to do that stupid British accent to somebody, and
Now it's a German accent.
they're just gonna lose it on him. It might be me.
Well, that's unfortunate that you feel that way, Adam. Because quite frankly, I think it's been very popular whenever I've talked to locals. They think that
Especially to Pam.
it's a Pam, which Steven, I'm saying.
Pam literally thought you were German.
Pam,
I'm not making that up.
No, she might have said that after I stopped recording, but I think that she loves me, and I love her.
Yeah.
Next super chat, Crystal, $20. Hey guys,
No.
I am actually really sad I didn't come. I'm regretting it, but have a great time and bear down. Travel safely.
There's still
No.
time. We were talking about this. The flights aren't that expensive for last minute.
No, they were like $700, but Crystal's going to her alma mater, Alabama A&M, so she's
That's
out.
Great. Today's Wednesday. I mean, there's still time before the game happens. You can make it happen.
Crystal's coming to Arizona.
You can go to your alma mater anytime.
That's true.
That is
I mean, Crystal made her choice.
It's homecoming. That's what it is. It's homecoming.
Oh yeah, that only happens.
I mean,
once every year.
I think we should fly Guy Finley and Bush Hogg here together, along with Jonathan Otten and Charlie the Bacon Guy, for that matter.
Bush hog?
Bush Hogg is in the chat, and he's an amazing Bush
What
Hogg.
about Pizzatola?
And I'd absolutely love to have my Pizzy here. If Pizzatola could make it, that would make us all smile. We could
It's amazing how far ahead of Braggs you are in the Hoge annoyance rankings right now. I don't even think Greg's going to catch you this week.
He's more annoyed with me than he is with you.
Yeah. Well, you bought yourself some time. I've had to spend a lot of time with him.
It's been tough for you. It was me and
it's all love. This is all fun.
It was me and the Hogs at dinner last night.
Dinner was great last night.
Dinner was great.
Rudy. We anointed Rudy. His name wasn't really Rudy, but we made him Rudy.
This waiter we thought that he owned the place because he was so enthusiastic about everything that was going on at this pizza joint, Rudy's, which was delicious.
I mean, he was telling us the life story of the dough that they made the pizza with.
That's pretty cool.
It was delicious dough.
I mean, it was a great meal. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, we
thought he was Rudy because the place was called Rudy's. And he wasn't.
He was not Rudy.
He wouldn't even tell us what his name was. He wasn't Rudy.
Wow.
Steven, I don't know if you can hook it up, but I think it's in Bears Beat, our conversation with Pam.
Yeah, I see it's vertical video, so I could use it, but it's gonna look weird.
I think we should use it.
I mean,
the only good news is I'm not sure it's going to look weirder than the video already is.
It's 70 minutes into the show. I think we can
whoever's
get away
here,
with it.
they love us.
It's still 1,000 people watching.
These 1,000 people
are not going to be
They're
able
about to see Pam.
Let's take a vote. Do you want to see a random Pam in a bar at a train station with Hoge and Nick?
Yeah. Just here's what I haven't seen. Will you actually play this on yours? Because I haven't seen the video, and I know that I gave you the dirtiest look in the world.
You didn't like it.
Me if I knew what jacket potatoes were.
Yeah,
and I want to see my own look because I know it's authentic. It's 100% authentic.
Okay. Are we ready, Steven? Can we do it?
I'm not ready yet because it's a dot movie. I'll turn it into an MP4, and we're gonna get it on the show.
Okay.
Dot movies.
It's a dot movie.
I have no idea what
I don't
that
even
means.
know what a dot is.
That's what Caleb Williams throws. Remember, dots.
Listen,
What kind of phone do you have?
It's a dot movie phone. It's a dot movie iPhone, which I just upgraded to, and I'm so happy that my friends at Verizon hooked me up the way they did.
Pretty much unanimous in the chat. They want to see it.
They want to see Pam.
Of course.
I'm just warning you. You're going to regret it.
Pam. No, it's Pam.
Pam Cam with Cram.
Pam
says George Bayless.
Pam we're gonna see Pam tomorrow too. So we're gonna do Pam.
Oh, right.
We're gonna do Pam part 2 tomorrow after we get dot video part 1 up and rolling in the second here.
Well, the good news is, in the time that you guys are stalling for me right now, I'm gonna make it not vertical video.
Oh,
wow.
Oh, that's next level.
Pam horizontal.
That's like
That sounds like
it's better work than I was going to say that I thought that Steven was capable of in this moment in time, but why would I ever say that? Because Steven can do literally anything.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Can literally
on
do
his
anything.
laptop, he says, "I got that dog in me. He got this.
Does say that.
He does have that dog in him.
Got it."
And I'd like to thank Steven personally for buying me my brownie a la mode Sunday last night. That was very nice.
that looks
and
really
your
good.
drink.
Oh, that's right. How was that last night?
Yeah.
Yeah, he bought me an old fashioned, so I had the better dessert.
I would get
Dessert. I like that.
Yeah.
I like
that was my dessert.
the DoubleTree that we're staying at is absolutely phenomenal. The food here and all the way they're taking care of us and the amount of like free things that you get for staying here is incredible.
Oh, it's
Coffee house and whatnot.
I checked out
Really
the
nice.
gym this morning.
I mean, if we're being honest, every 5 seconds we're making some comment about how it's better in Europe.
We're not coming home.
I mean, coffee,
Just everyone's
yeah, the coffee's really good.
tea, better.
I mean, everyone's vibe here, which you're going to see from Pam in a couple moments here. Like everyone's so friendly.
I have
Mhm.
one.
Yeah, I have noticed that.
I have-
Everyone's so nice here.
You know the one thing we do better in America? The
Name it.
splatter resistant urinals.
Better
Oh,
splatter
yeah.
resistant urinals.
Yeah, they need to upgrade the technology here.
This
Well,
splatter-
There's some issues.
Also, since we're on the toilet talk here, why doesn't the water go all the way up in the toilet? Like it
Yeah,
doesn't like
yeah.
a rise height.
because they're probably conserving water, unlike our country.
Yeah.
And I since we got to the toilet talk at
Oh,
at,
no.
at 70,
I mean, they don't even have water in Nevada anymore.
I was in a situation at the
yeah.
at the Bears at
Where they practice.
where
I
the
already heard this story, and I don't want to hear it again.
It's such a good story.
No, it's
That's
not.
hilarious.
You're taking
I had to.
A fringe combo over the line again. Steven, please tell me that video's
The
ready.
video's ready.
Thank God. Play it. Play it. I never wanted to see the Pam video more.
Are you aware of Jacket's potatoes, Adam? No. What are Jacket potatoes?
They're like potatoes in their skins.
Potatoes in their skins.
Yeah. And what you do is you put them in the microwave
Yeah, okay.
until they're soft. And then you cut them and you put butter in them. Like a whole potato.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah, but we haven't got any jacket potatoes.
Oh, no.
Sorry.
What do you? It's on the list. Jacket's potatoes.
Yeah, but we haven't got any at the moment. Sorry.
Do you think my accent sounds authentic?
Sounds very good. Are you from?
Take that,
Are
Hoge.
you from Europe somewhere?
Chicago. We're Bears
Oh,
fans.
you're American.
You never would have guessed.
Europe.
And then right after that, she's like, "I thought you were from Germany."
Yeah, you took your victory lap too soon. You cut off the video because you're like, oh, she said my accent was good, and then the next words out of her mouth was, "Are you from Germany?"
Which is a compliment. That is a compliment.
I'm surprised
No,
she
you're
thought.
doing a British accent, saying you're from. Her asking you if you're German.
Close enough. Germany.
Someone from England asking you as you're trying to do their accent if you're from Germany is not a compliment.
I think that's close. I think that's in range. She at least didn't say, "Are you from Chicago?" No, she said, "Are you from
Why would
Germany?"
you name Chicago out of all the random?
Are you a New Yorker? Something along. No, she said, "Are you from Germany?" And I said, "Indeed, I'm not, Pam, but thank you for appreciating."
Well, people who saw me in that video,
Your
two brief
face.
glimpses, that was me all day with this guy. I still love you though.
Thank you.
I don't know why. but I do.
All right, a handful more super chats. Should we get to that?
Yes,
all right.
yes, and then we can end this show.
And just
right.
real
Hungry.
fast. Shout out Pam. She was a great sport. Pam's
She
the
was.
best.
We'll
Pam
see her
was
tomorrow.
awesome. You were going to see her tomorrow.
We're gonna see her tomorrow.
We're gonna do Pam part 2 tomorrow.
Hit the like and subscribe for Pam. Chris Kettle, £5 sterling, right? Yep, is that?
I think you could just say British pounds.
I'm here now. It's just five.
Yeah, it's
current
just
£5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to the UK. Forget the jacket, spuds, potatoes. Get yourself some roast beef and Yorkshire puddings. Can't wait for Sunday at Bear Down.
Mm.
Okay, Chris, you know what you're talking about.
That's what at dinner last night at Rudy's. They were like, "You're not having any pudding." And then I really wanted to get the pudding, but then I was tired, and that was the.
Then you got the brownie later.
then I
Yeah,
got the
Rudy
brownie.
was basically like, I went to Italy and got it myself for you, was
Yeah.
how he was trying to sell it.
He deeply explained the pudding, and we listened for like 3 minutes, and then
And then we were all like, we're good.
Yeah, sorry,
No pudding today.
that was wrong.
Next one from Bear Down, Omaha, $2. Hogue Nick, favorite Carm trip moment. Probably not that many to select from.
Oh,
Spam story to
when we
select.
were looking at those red mansions there, Carm's like, someone in these mansions thinks I look cute when he was when we were walking down there, and I don't think anyone.
Hyde Park Mansions. They were very
Yeah.
cool.
Oh,
They're very nice.
They were lovely.
But favorite Carm moment. There's gonna be so many more, so
I mean,
Yeah,
that's it for today.
They have none. Bear Down Omaha. They've been miserable.
Very
around me.
quickly, I'll give
I
you
mean,
my favorite Carm
okay.
trip moment, and that was before the trip really even started. You losing your phone when we
Oh.
were supposed to hop on the train to get to O'Hare.
we've had some close calls. You almost left your phone in Chicago. Nick almost left a bag across international lines.
Yep. That was bad.
I put my
That was very
phone.
bad.
That was an amazing save.
That's a story worth telling right there. Better than I put my phone on the top of my car and didn't realize that I did it. And
a commonplace one puts their phone.
right. And I tore apart. If anybody has ever seen the movie The French Connection, where they literally take every panel out of the car to try to find the dope, that was in essence what was happening. And I got to the point where I was literally crying to Siri, "Hey Siri, where's my phone?" And then
Did she eventually answer?
and then finally Siri took mercy on me, and it started beeping on top of the hood, on top of the
Siri's
roof.
trying to respond to you right now. on
Oh
your
yeah, look at
computer.
that on your
Yeah,
computer.
Siri, chill out. I don't need you, Siri. Thank you.
Oh, that's gonna actually put the show on. Never mind. I just figured out why your phone does dot movies.
Oh, you did.
Ugh, Siri, chill out.
Oh no, Siri.
You just did a Find My iPhone alert. That was awesome.
That's where my Siri only responds to when I cry. I have to cry for this. That's what it takes.
That was a great moment. That was my Steven, that was my favorite
All right, we
moment.
got
of
one, we got one,
right
but-
there.
Oh boy.
All right, $10 super chat from George McNasty. What are the chances the Bears will finally have a 4,000-yard passer? Answer: 100%.
There you go.
I mean, eventually, I don't know if it's going to happen this year, but it could still.
It's not
What's
like
he on
he's
pace
out.
for right now?
What is
He's got
Caleb?
2 300-yard games already.
know.
He had 356 and 304.
He's got 1,091 passing yards through 5 games.
What does he have per game?
Great question.
1,591. I'll do it myself.
1,091.
And
divided
Braggs
by
is
5.
telling me only 3 quarterbacks have 2 300-yard games and 2 TD passes.
218 right
He's
now.
doing 218 a game.
That's what he's on pace for.
218 times 17, team, if he stays healthy, is 3706.
And that was with a slow start.
That was
Yeah.
with 93 yards in the first
Yeah.
game, 174 against the Texans.
It's possible.
It's on the table.
It's on the table.
If things keep headed in the direction they're headed, we need to have our listeners. There needs to be some type of reward or party if he gets to 4,000.
The 4,000 party club
Show party.
show party.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm in.
George Bayless, 2 pounds. Should Brisker consider retiring? Also, Beers CHGO.
Passy Young tomorrow. 3 to 6
Definitely
o'clock
Bears.
That's a yes.
is the best opportunity for pints.
And then I don't know about Brisker, guy. I mean, look, he's had a bunch of concussions, but that's a guy that wants to play. He still has a lot more that he probably wants to prove too. So
It
I don't know
didn't
about
sound
that.
like today Ryan Poles, Matt Eberflus, any kind of indication that they're.
This would be it. for
Yeah,
him.
I mean,
Well, this wasn't like a Tua situation where he's had, the utmost of serious concussions either. This was,
I mean, he
from
finished the
my
game.
perspective, yeah, not only did he finish the game, it looked like he was out for a second, and, people didn't even catch it on the field.
I'm going to give the fans what they want and let Braggs.
Thanks.
Carm's going to the bathroom. Braggs that wire to the breach.
oh, is that what happened?
Yeah, he extended the show for 30 minutes and now he has to pee.
Right. We could have been done 20 minutes ago. Or do you have to go do
Great
your?
Pam
Are you going to
radio.
do your Northwestern interview? You have to do.
Oh. Wait, your laptop's here though. Your laptop's here. You need this.
Should we log in on a Zoom with?
I'll do the interview. What is he talking about? Nobody can hear you. You don't have a mic.
Yeah. Hi, Greg.
Hi. No, I'm happy to finally be here.
More super chats. How many more do we have?
We have 6 more.
I had a super chat in there.
Oh,
yeah,
you did.
you want to
So
do
now
yours
that
right
we're
now?
here, let's do it.
All right, let's do it. Braggs in the stands, $5.
Here I
Question:
am.
Any concern for the team on game day with the distance they have to travel to Tottenham?
I was curious about this. You guys did the travel.
We
and
were just in Tottenham. The train station that Carm hates. It was like 3 stops away on that train.
wasn't too bad.
No.
You got to answer your own super chat now that you're on the show.
Well, I mean, are they going to take the train or are they going to take?
Wait, I'm sorry. So you're worried about the
I'm asking. I'm
the
not worried.
distance between
I'm asking. Is
where
there
we
any-
just were out in the country?
Yeah,
to
you said it
Tottenham?
was. Yeah, you said it took a while, so I'm concerned about the
Well,
travel for
I
the.
have a feeling they'll have a police escort.
Okay, so how long would it take? Just out of curiosity.
Well, the train. What did that bus take us today to get out there? It was an hour and 45 minutes.
because they're not going to take a train, right? They're going to take a bus.
No, escort. They'll. Yeah.
Okay, Carm, please
Bus.
come back.
Oh, I think it's a legitimate question.
They're not taking a train.
It
exactly.
They're
should be
going to
quick.
bus.
I mean, what?
They're going to bus to the stadium.
So 2 hours.
No.
No.
Tottenham is closer to.
That's
Okay,
what I'm-
all right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Hey, Greg.
Yes, paint the
Tottenham is
picture.
on the way. Well, I don't live here.
Greg.
We are
No one does.
we
That's
are
watching
down-
this show.
We are down here at downtown. Tottenham is not exactly on. It's kind of on the way to where they are in
Okay.
Ware.
Greg,
And-
you've asked some great questions at once in a blue moon. This is one of your worst.
No, I think it's a good one. But we don't, as fans, I think we want to know where they're staying adjacent to the stadium and how long.
Tottenham is closer
Thank you.
to where they're staying than Soldier Field is to Lake Forest.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. I wasn't.
But where
saying-
they're staying is the equivalent of Lake Forest to where we are downtown. Like if the game was down here, but Tottenham's out in the burbs kind of
Mhm.
anyway.
Okay.
So
If they lose to the Jaguars, it will be because Trevor played huge, not because they had a 15 more minutes on the bus.
Well, no, because I was just thinking about
Unless they take a train.
No, because that
Then
was
we have an illegitimate
because I was
excuse.
just thinking about week 1 with the Packers and Eagles.
Pam at the train stations get them all onto the train.
That's true. Pam can
Yeah.
mess this up.
Well, with the Packers and Eagles week 1 in Brazil, the Packers were like 2 hours away from their stadium, so their travel.
Oh, that's not the
logistics-
case. Yeah, for
right.
the
So
Bears.
that was what I was curious about. But somebody said, Dr. Professor, said, "So Hoge, about those annoying rankings." How
Yeah,
are they
yeah.
going? They're moving.
They're moving.
Pendulum swing.
We closed that up a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. What other super
Which is
chats
bad
we got?
because you've been here for 5 minutes.
5 minutes. But
3.
I got Buffalo Trace, so it
was-
it
No,
evens out.
actually, yeah, no. Back
Exactly.
to normal. I forgot about that. You bought me more drinks than Carm has.
I'll say this much in regards to Carm's question about do Bears fans want, the Bears to play in Soldier Field. I think something you're going to learn, Carm, and you probably, it's not that you don't know this, but the Bears are just such an international sensation, especially from the 85 Bears, which I know you adore.
40 million fans, according to Kevin Warren,
When we-
internationally.
Yeah, and it's no joke. I mean, when we were here in 2019,
Mhm.
we went to the famous Three Kings. I mean, it really stood out. You went to Tottenham in 2019, like the fans at the game. It really is going to, I think, surprise you just how many international fans there
Yeah.
are. So for those fans that don't get to ever come to Chicago, this is their opportunity to see the team.
I was trying to get that across the Cole yesterday on the 85. Like, we just almost like, seriously, when you get to the stadium on Sunday, when you see all the fans there, it feels like more like Super Bowl atmosphere than just a
100%.
regular.
And,
Looking
and,
forward
and,
to
the,
that.
and the biggest thing too, and you'll love this, Carm, when asking each fan that comes from Germany or England or wherever, every time you ask them, they have 2 answers of why they're Bears fans: either the 85 Bears and their parents loving them,
Or the 85 podcast.
or the 85 podcast. So 3 things, or Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is one of those things that becomes this gravitational pull to Chicago sports. And there's a lot of international fans that just kind of inherited all of Chicago sports because of Michael Jordan. So I'm just telling you that to me was one of the things that I really took notice of when we were here in 2019. So I'm excited to experience all that over again here now.
Next Super.
Yeah, we're gonna go rapid fire now. Chubbs 82, $5. All the people out here hating better get their shots in now, so they could go back to pretending they knew Caleb was going to be good the whole time.
Take receipts.
I was actually sometimes I brainstorm brilliant tweets, and I was gonna do a GIF search for like shrinking crowds. I don't know if that would give me like a Trump GIF or not, but I was thinking that could be a good tweet, like live look at Caleb Williams, the Caleb Williams haters.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We got Mr. Myrtle here. Wait, is Carm in charge of doing the presser tweets? It's the second week in a row. There's been clickbait DJ Moore tweets. Carm, get it together. What is this?
I don't know. Would Mark Carman Incorporated like to comment? I don't know.
Here you go.
Let's have a rotating set.
This is great. Eventually, Adam's just gonna walk off the set. So
Yeah,
then
this
it'll
might
just
be
end up.
this might be what does
Yeah,
it.
it'll just
Based
be
on
me,
our train
it'll be
ride.
me and Carm finishing this show with Carm's annoying English accent.
Who said that?
Mr. Myrtle.
Listen, Mr. Myrtle. Nobody sits at the press conference and puts more tweets out for you, Mr. Myrtle, than me.
And typos.
And sometimes there will be a typo.
Blue Moon defined as one of every 2.
And I apologize for that. And some of you think that can't understand Twitter apparently, and I need to like really dumb this down and explain that there's no problem between DJ Moore and Caleb Williams. I don't know how you could possibly think that.
Listen,
But some of you did. Some of you did today, and it really irks me that I have to like deal with Hoge coming at me, and I blame you, Mr. Myrtle, and I don't appreciate it, but I still love you, Mr.
Listen
Myrtle.
here,
Thank you for watching the show. What?
Listen here, Mr. Myrtle, you blind moron. I'm gonna say
He's
he's blind. Look at the profile. No, look at the profile.
I love
picture. It's
Mr.
the blind guy from Sandlot.
That's
James
Earl.
Rest in peace.
Jones,
Rest in
jeez.
peace, James Earl Jones.
I like
it's the
Mr.
blind
Myrtle.
guy from Sandlot. What I'm trying to say is, last week when we put the tweet out, it was Patrick Norton that put that out, and he said jokingly, and everyone still freaked out about it, even though he prefaced it by saying jokingly. So there's no winning with you.
No, that's a good point. That's a
Mr.
good point.
Myrtle.
There's no winning because Pat did what I
I understand, by the way, that I cannot control anyone on Twitter, so I should just not be bothered by this.
Definitely
I shouldn't have come back on and taken Nick's mic, but I did because I was bothered.
Wait, is this the bossy thing? Is that what this
Yeah,
is?
Yeah.
This is not serious at all. This isn't.
Right.
He's joking.
I mean, come
I'm
on.
gonna screenshot it just for everyone to see.
It was ridiculous.
Oh, shout out to James Earl Jones.
All right, I'll be Dell on this one. Mr. Myrtle, you and me.
Okay. The tweet has been shared. I'll move on.
Yeah.
I
do think we should do a Hoge or Carm who tweeted it game.
Could be fun.
Well, that wouldn't be a hard game.
Is there a typo?
Listen, call your wife and ask her where the bathroom is in your hotel room and where's the street and how do I put my pants on.
I can't wait to.
Why is he attacking you?
It's gonna be a
He
long
thinks
week.
it's funny that I don't know what I'm doing or where I am or where I'm
Ask him
going.
about how we just got home.
Greg put in our
I had no idea.
Slack channel. I'm taking the train to Paris right now. I'll see you in a little bit. You're taking the train to London. You're leaving Paris. I'm not going to comment on this.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. He
Yeah.
had it
Who
wrong.
cares? Jesus Christ.
Well, exactly.
Shut up. Let's finish the show.
George Bayless, 5 pounds. We need a video of Carm navigating the tube in London using only his British accent, speaking to as many strangers as possible. Beers, guys, tally ho.
I'll do that tomorrow.
Don't do that.
I'll do that.
I'm gonna avoid that.
I think it's a good idea.
International incident.
Crystal, another $5 super chat. I know Hoge, I thought about it, but I've spent money already on this trip. Headed to the airport now. I'll be with you in Arizona.
That's a good compromise.
Hello. Do you know where the circle line is? Or the district line? I think there's great potential here. We could do this.
Carm spent the first 5 minutes of our train ride just an hour ago, worried that we were on the wrong train.
It's not very clear.
I will say the circle line is confusing.
It's confusing.
It's confusing, but we were on the right train.
Patrick Norton, since we mentioned him earlier, sent a $5 super chat. Our own Patrick Norton. You guys are the best. Bear down.
Thanks, Patrick Norton. You the man.
Last one. We'll go 30 seconds or less from each of you. Colin calling. Okay, you guys need to mention food at some point. What takeaway did you guys order last night?
We just had this really fresh pizza, so there's just a lot of pizza here, a lot of Italian food in London.
Yeah, well, it's honestly it's very similar to Chicago, and you can get any type of food you want. And you made a good point last night, Carver. It's like if you're going to have a successful restaurant in London, there's so many options that you have to be good.
Well, right, it's New York-y. On every block there's 3 restaurants, a coffee house, a nail salon, a haircut place, and then on the next block they do the same thing.
Well, and there's a piano store.
And a piano store.
Yeah. For Elton John.
Great energy here. I love it.
Brad,
I
what
love
do
you.
Paris?
I had foie gras, I had duck breast, I had steak frites, had some
Steak frites?
Frites.
That'd be frites,
That'd be
sweetie.
frites.
Well,
Steak
I've no more talking French, no more romantic crap. It's football time. Jenny's better be ready because
You had
all
foie
that-
gras?
I had foie gras.
You pronounced that correctly, but Frites is where you got
You
it.
messed
Yeah,
up the
steak
you messed up the Fritz.
I
Can't-
don't.
Are Jenny,
The
Stephanie,
Fritz.
and Krista all enjoying
They're all
a
downstairs
beverage
drinking.
right now?
Yeah, they're downstairs.
Can
drinking.
I go join them?
I know.
Well, Ho, give me that was the last one. Give me your what you've eaten, and then we could get out of here.
With the Z.
I mentioned the pizza last night. That was our best meal so far. We honestly have not had enough time we had hotel breakfast and finger sandwiches for lunch today. And I'm starving right now. I want to go find a good place to eat.
I ate too many of those. Hey, George Bayless, you're right. We're going to try to do the curry, or there's a bunch of
The fish
places.
and chips
that I-
yesterday at the pub right out here.
There's a good fish and chips at the pub, no doubt about it.
It was a good aim.
All right. I guess it's over. We're back tomorrow at 10 Central Time, 4 o'clock live here at the Passy Yunk.
Yep.
Are you gonna be there?
We'll be there.
Yes, Greg, I'll be
Or-
there.
We're working on
For the
logistics right now.
Me and Nick might be
A tad bit.
staggered or late.
I taught them how to take the train home from where.
I'm scared for us.
You'll be staggered.
Just go find Pam. She'll tell you how to get there.
You got to get a seat for your bum, or else you're going to be staggered by yourself in the square. Have a good. There goes his bum.
if you would like to join us tomorrow, there's still opportunities. Passy Young, 3 to 6 o'clock. The show starts at 4. That's London time if you're in London. And then go to truefantravel.com. I was getting a lot of questions about the tailgate, too. You can still buy tickets to the tailgate as well. Truefantravel.com is where you go. Build your own package is the option. Then you can just pick the individual events. That's all I got today. Go check out the 85 with Cole Kmet. Cole was, if you missed it, Cole was nice enough to come down here, downtown London yesterday to knock that all out. We had a great conversation. And we're live tomorrow, 10 Central back in Chicago, 4 p.m. I'm live at Passy Young if you're here in London. What a great week it will be. We're already off to a great start. Shout out to Pam. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
We all silly like the mayor.